Hello everyone, welcome to Daily Current Affairs Analysis brought to you by Shankar IAS Academy. Today we will be seeing the current affairs for the date of 21st of September. Before we move on, please subscribe to our channel for regular updates. These are the topics which we will be seeing today. The first one is corruption. We will be seeing the definition of corruption. We will be seeing the examples and types and the measures which can be taken to deal with this menace. Second is about onion. We will be seeing basic facts about onion, Operation Greens, and recent issue of farmers' protest regarding this onion price. Third is Lothal. It's an Indus Valley civilization site. We will be seeing about it. And fourth one is International Criminal Court. We will be seeing about it. And fifth one is Prelims Focus. These are the short notes which will be helpful for both prelims as well as mains. Now we'll move on to the topics. Today we will start the topic with corruption. So this is a nice picture, a humorous one explaining about the corruption. So we'll get into this topic. One important thing related to this is the second Administrative Reforms Commission report. This is an important report, though a little bit old one. There are about 15 reports in it. They will be useful for both GS preparation and especially for public administration optional. So there are about 15 reports. It's not including reports such as this fourth report, which is ethics in governance. This is very important for GS4. The other reports, for example, state and district administration, local governance, RTI, etc. So I will recommend for students in public area with public administration optional to go through this report. On those who are having not having public administration, but just for GS, this ethics report is important. Also note that don't read the report from page to page, since there are 15 reports and you don't have time for that now. Instead, you can just go through it. There will be some good quotations mentioned in them. Apart from that, the information inside the boxes, those are important, and recommendations of the commission, those are important. These three things are important. Otherwise, what you can do is you can just go and download the summary of the reports from either you can go see it in the YouTube channels or other coaching institutes. They might be providing you with the summary. Both will do. But I will suggest you that you itself go and see those report and go skim through the topics. Mainly focus on those quotations, the information given in the boxes, and the recommendations. So those recommendations are main. And after you go through it, just check what kind of recommendations and what has been implemented, and what even though it has been implemented, what needs to be further strengthened. So those things are important with regard to the second administrative reforms report. Now we'll go get into this topic, see about this topic. We'll start with the definition of corruption. So there are almost 3 given here which can be used for mains. So as per the World Bank, corruption means that abuse of public office for private gain. So Transparency International defines it as the abuse of entrusted power for private gain. So as per the Prevention of Corruption Act 1988, it describes corruption basically in terms of taking gratification other than legal remuneration in respect of an official act. So all these 3 are valid. You can use any one of them while writing mains exam, while writing answer in mains exam. So these are the examples of corruption. First is bribery. That is more common in our society. That is giving money, gift, or any kind of like shares or promotions or preferential treatment in return of favor. This is known as bribery. Embezzlement, theft, and fraud. Embezzlement means the person has access to funds and other resources, but instead he takes them for he takes control for his own gain. So that's the meaning of embezzlement. Fraud means using deceptive methods to take benefits. For example, it's very common in real estates. Another is graft. Graft means using the public resources for private gain. Blackmail is, we know, It's usually use of physical force and coercing people to do certain things. Influence peddling means influencing the government or officials to take decisions based on a person's favor. For example, construction of a particular roads or bridges in particular area, construction of parks in particular area. These are the way in which people may try to influence. Second is another aspect. Sorry, is abuse of discretion. In many parts of law, in many aspects remains silence when you are executing it. So, as a public official, when you become a civil servant, there will be many areas where the law is silent, and you have to act as per your discretion. So here the official may, if a correct official may abuse it and act as per his own advantage. Another aspect is nepotism and clientelism. So this nepotism is a common word, usually mainly used in politics and cinema industry. So it means favoring someone, and in government you can say that if the recruitment process is not proper or not correct, and it's not transparent, this will lead to nepotism, as the favored candidates will be selected instead of the deserving one. So we'll move to types of corruption. There are broadly three types. First is petty corruption. These are like daily or small acts of corruption, usually done by local level officials, such as giving money to the traffic police or money to the local administrative authorities in place of getting the certificates, etc. These come under petty corruption. Grand corruption means done at the higher level, at the policy design phases, or by the senior government officials and the politicians. For example, it includes the spectrum allocation scams, coal allocation scams, and defense kickbacks. The defense kickbacks. So in defense, usual deals are usually in thousands of crores. So even 0.1% of it is a huge amount. So it refers to the grand corruption. In systemic corruption, the issue is more serious. Here, the corruption is not occasional, but it is deeply entrenched. So, for example, in bureaucracy, we say it's a hierarchical nature. So, there are many levels. So, in systemic corruption, the corruption is normalized. So, what it said that through all the level of hierarchy, there is corruption. So, the money flows from the base till the end. So, officials at all the levels are involved in corruption. So, this is an example of systemic corruption. So, apart from this, there are other two types known as coercive and collusive. Collusive means two or more parties come together and involve in corrupt practices, such as public officials and corporates, or you can say contractors and government officials, while construction of roads, stormwater drains, etc., where they compromise on quality, and even the public officials act like they don't know anything regarding it. These are examples of collusive. Coercive corruption means where a public official forces the citizens or other persons to bribe. For example, while giving us a cash certificate or any other certificate, the official is forcing you to pay money. So these are the examples of coercive corruption. Now we will see the measures which can be taken to tackle this menace. First is political funding reform. This includes transparency in the political spending of the political parties. Also about state funding of elections. So when state funds the elections, the spending can be made more transparent. Also in previous news analysis, we talked about the participation of women in politics. So when there is state spending of elections, this would also encourage them or other peoples, those who don't have access to financial resources, to participate in the political process. Second aspect is civil service reforms. This is an important one. Civil servants are the bridge between the government and the people. They act as a bridge, and they are the face of the government. So they need to be reformed. So this include capacity building, training in ethics, morality, etc. It also we need to move from rule based to role based, or rule based to role based officers. Another aspect is e-governance and digitization. So in this, apart from civil service reform, you can also say reforms needed in political circles. So at the end, civil service comes below the politicians. So we need reforms at political level also. So now we'll see about the e-governance and digitization measures which can be taken. So when there is use of technology is the major factor by which we can control the corruption. For example, direct benefit transfer. So here the middleman is skipped. Directly the money is transferred into the beneficiary's account. So the chances of corruption are decreased. So technology can play a major factor in reducing corruption. Likewise, there is single window system. For example, you are applying for a certificate. You can apply it online, and online process itself that shows the various status, and you can get it the digital copy, and digital copy is also valid as the original one. You don't need to go and take the physical copy from the office. So if this process is established, the chances of corruption becomes less. Another one main important part is citizen participation. The more active the citizens participate, the more accountable the government is held, the chances of corruption will go down drastically. This can be done by RTIs, social audits, etc. Another important aspect is about judicial and institutional strengthening. We need to establish fast track courts and strengthen the institutions such as Central Vigilance Commission, Central Bureau of Investigation. We need to ensure that they are separated from the politics. The important one is ethical leadership. In Kautilya Arthasastra, Kautilya mentions that Yatha Raja Tata Praja. That means the kingdom will be, people will be as per the king. How the king is, the subjects will be as like him. So if the leader is correct, it is possible that the people will also be easy for the people to also be correct. So we need to ensure that people of high degree of integrity, morality occupy leadership positions. So that's an important one. So with this, we can expect questions based on corruption in both GS2 as well as GS4 in mains. Also, there are important acts like Whistleblowers Act, then Prevention of Corruption Act, and there are also institutions like CVC, questions on institutions like CBI, CVC, etc. And also regarding corruption, we can also link it with RTI. So these areas we can get questions. And in GS4, we can get in both case studies as well as part A, that is theory 1. So we'll move on to the question. It was asked, PYQ, it was asked in GS4 in 2023. Question is, corruption is the manifestation of failure of core values of the society. So this is a statement it is given. In your opinion, what measures can be adopted to uplift the core values in the society? So it's asked for 10 marks and 150 words. So here generally what mistake the students will do it, they will be explaining the core values. See, that's not required. It's just a 10-mark question. You can just write up you can introduce, like, you can define corruption, and if this is not checked, it will lead to erosion of core values such as integrity, honesty, etc. That is sufficient. Don't go on explaining this what is core values in the society. After giving this short intro, just directly jump to the main demand of the question. Main demand is you have to mention the measures to uplift the core values in the society. So you can give like value-based education. That's an important one. And you can even quote examples or case studies with regard to this. For example, value-based education, you can talk about Japan, how they focus on value-based education at elementary level itself. Then you can talk about role of family and community. That also plays an important role. Then you can talk about role of other institutions like school, because a major part of childhood it's we spend in school. So how the school education system can be improved. Then you can in that you can give an example of NEP, National Education Policy, how it focuses on these things. After mentioning this, you can just conclude the answer. So that will do for this 10-marker question. So that's it for this topic. Now we will move on to the next topic. In this article, we will be seeing about onion, then Operation Greens, and about why these farmers from Maharashtra are protesting. We'll move on to this topic. So the scientific name of onion is Allium cepa. It's mainly cultivated during the Rabi season, but also it's cultivated in the Kharif and in the late Kharif period. So it requires cool season for growth and for dry weather for maturity. Leading producing states are Maharashtra, it's number one, and then we have Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Bihar, and Andhra Pradesh. And Nasik is known as the onion hub for India. And India is the second largest producer of onion, and first is China. So this can be a prelims question based on ranking. So we will see about its economic importance. It's a key vegetable and spice crop in India. It has very high domestic demand. So its price volatility directly affects the inflation. So this is important. So when we see about inflation, we are supposed to know the different types of inflation, the terms associated with inflation, like stagflation, hyperinflation, creeping inflation, etc. These are the direct questions from which the questions can be asked in prelims. Apart from it, the inflation targeting, we can be asked a question regarding it. It's done by the RBI under the Monetary Policy Committee. So the target is 4% with a tolerance of plus minus 2%. So the questions can be asked with regard to Monetary Policy Committee also. Another aspect is this onion is included in both WPI and CPI baskets. That is wholesale price index and consumer price index. These two are also important. They can be directly asked in prelims with regard to who releases these and the weightage of the articles included in it. So next aspect is regarding the it's a part of Essential Commodities Act. So Essential Commodities Act, it's mainly to ensure that these articles inside this act under certain articles such as food crops, oil seeds, fertilizers, petroleum products are available to consumers at fair price. So it aims to deter hoarding and sale in the black market. So it gives power to central and states to control production, supply, trade, and commerce regarding these articles mentioned under this Essential Commodities Act. Another aspect is there's a price stabilization fund is created to procure onions and regulate market prices. This fund is used where there is a high volatility of commodities to absorb the high volatility of commodities. So the buffer stock under this price stabilization fund is maintained by the Natural Agriculture Cooperating Marketing Federation of India, that is NAFED, and the National Cooperative Consumer Federation of India, that is NCCF. So these two organizations are important, NAFED and NCCF. From prelims point of view, we need to know what are their functions and under which ministry they operate. That's an important one. There you can have a direct prelims question from it. And next we will see about Operation Greens. So it's similar to on the lines of Operation Flood. The Operation Flood is regarding to White Revolution. So we also need to know about different types of revolution which happen in our country, and it is to address the price volatility of commodities like potato, tomato, onion. That is spot. Potato, onion, tomato. Initially it was spot. Then it will promote farmer producer organizations, agri logistics, processing facility, and professional management. It was announced in the budget of 2018-19 with allocation of 500 crores. Next aspect is the Ministry of Food Processing and Industries has been implementing this scheme under the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana. This is an important topic for mains. We need to know about it. So it has two pronged strategies. First is price stabilization measure, that is short term. Here, when there is oversupply, places where there is high supply, the commodities are taken and kept under storage. And when there is high demand or in regions where there is high demand and low supply, these are transferred to those places. Next aspect is this integrated value chain development projects. It's a long-term measure. It includes giving quality seeds, giving technical assistance to the farmers, promoting clusters and capacity building of farmer producer organizations. It also includes logistic measures and also Kisan rails. Even they're a part of it. We also have food processing, focus on food processing. So these all which caters to long-term development of it. These is also part of the strategy. Now this long-term scheme, that is a scope of operation schemes and long-term interventions, it has been expanded from the pot, that is tomato, onion and potato, to include 22 perishable crops. This is an important point which can be asked as a statement in like true or false, or as a statement in prelims. So we will see now why the farmers are protesting. So since September 12, the farmers of Maharashtra are protesting for low onion prices. They are demanding about 1,500 rupees per quintal as a government aid. Now we'll see the reasons. Main reason is the cost of production is about 2,200 to 2,500 per quintal, but the current price which they are selling is about 800 to 1,000 rupees per quintal only. The reason is the rabi onion stocks which they had, it's deteriorating, and they are engaged in distress sale, so as to sell whatever they are high quality onions they are having. On top of it, this buffer stocks which NAFED and NCCF, even they are being sold at cheaper rates by the government. So there is oversupply. So when there is oversupply, the price of the commodity decreases. So that's the reason why they are protesting. Now we will see the measures which can be taken. So first thing is regarding the export policy. The reason is exports fell from 22.25 lakhs tons in 22 to 2022 to 23 to 11.47 lakhs tons in 2024 to 25. That is more than half. So if export is increased, this can be addressed. Another aspect regarding export is we had key buyers of Bangladesh and Sri Lanka were key buyers from India, but they have focused now. They are shifted to China and Pakistan for onions. So we need to bring them back. Another aspect in which this can be tackled is something which Andhra Pradesh government has been doing. The Andhra Pradesh government has been established a floor price of 1,200 rupees per quintal. So the government can give a certain minimum price for this onion, so that below it the farmers need not sell, and we can people can procure people or companies can procure with the minimum price, so that both farmers as well as companies or people get benefited from it. So this is regarding this topic. We will see a prelims practice question regarding it. Question is, with reference to National Agriculture Cooperating Marketing Federation of India, that is NAFED, and National Cooperative Consumers Federation of India, that is NCCF, consider the following statements. They are asked to find the correct statements. First statement is, both NAFED and NCCF are apex cooperative organizations under Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. This is incorrect. NAFED is under Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, but NCCF is under Ministry of Consumer Affairs. Second, NAFED is primarily engaged in procurement of agriculture produce under price support scheme, while NCCF plays an important role in consumer supply and distribution of essential commodities. Yes, this is correct. Third statement, both agencies jointly maintain buffer stocks of onions and pulses under the Price Stabilization Fund. Yes, this is also correct. They asked to find the incorrect statements. So the answer will be option B, 2 and 3 only. So that's it for this topic. Now we'll move on to the next topic. In this article, we will be seeing about Lothal. It's a key Indus Valley civilization site. So we'll get into this article. So we'll first see about its locations. Located in the present-day Gujarat in the Ahmedabad district. It was first discovered in 1954 by excavations led by S.R. Rao. So these are the key Indus Valley civilization city center sites. This map is taken from NCERT. Key, this is where Lothal is. So we have another Dholavira. This is also important. And here we have Balakot. So this Balakot is different from the Balakot where our Indian Air Force conducted strikes against the terrorist camps. So then we have Kotdiji. We have Mohenjo-daro here. Then we have Chanhundaro. Here we have Harappa. Rakigiri is another important one. And Kalibangan. So these are some important sites. You can be asked questions in prelims. They can just list out the sites and ask whether they were Harappan sites or not. Or they can ask you to map from list it out from north to south direction or east to west direction. This is also another map taken from NCERT. It's actually a text from Mesopotamia dating back to 3rd millennium BCE. refers three places. One is Dilmun, Magan, and Melua. Melua, it's said that Melua refers to the Harappan sites, Magan refers to the northern part of Oman, and this Dilmun refers to the Bahrain. So these texts refers sea trade happening between these regions, and copper was traded from Oman to Harappan sites, and both have traces of nickel. So it establishes that they have from they have common origin, and even a copper found in Mesopotamia had some traces of nickel, suggesting the same. Another aspect is pots from Harappa were in fact possibly exchanged for copper, and these Harappan pots had a black cake coating outside of it to prevent percolation of liquid, and these are found in this Magan region, that is present day Oman. So this is a map actually explaining certain trades which are happening between these sites. So we'll move on to the key features of Lothal. So just as Indus Valley civilization, one important feature is the citadel and the lower town. Citadel was a smaller area which was in higher region, and larger area, that is the town, was in the lower area but occupied a huge space. So here also the citadel in the within Lothal was not walled off but built at a height. It is similar, but here another feature, it was not walled off. The entire settlement of Lothal was fortified, and sections within the town were also separated by walls. This is another important feature of Indus Valley civilization, is that streets laid out in grid pattern. That is, they intersected at right angles. Another important feature is the drainage system. They were also laid along the streets at the end. And at Lothal, the houses were built of mud bricks, whereas drains are made of burnt bricks. This is also important feature of IVCs. Another aspect is the houses even were one story high, not just a ground floor. So we will see another. There are two important aspects of Lothal. Two important thing is they were renowned for bead making industry. Another one, it's Lothal served as a thriving port and ship repair center. These two are the main features of Lothal. And regarding other aspects, there are also evidence of shell working, ivory carving, and metallurgy found in Lothal. And discovery of microbeads, that is beads belonging to small size, it indicates the high craftsmanship which was prevalent there. And there was also presence of fire altars, indicating religious or rituals being practiced. So we'll see about National Maritime Heritage Complex. So it's a world-class museum and heritage complex being developed by the government of India. And this is the master plan for it. This is taken from the PIB website. Its aim is to showcase India's rich maritime history and traditions from the Harappan era to modern times. It's being developed under the Sagarmala program. The Sagarmala program is important. They can be asked in mains also, and also in prelims. It's a port-led development program. It will lead to new employment opportunities. You can generate new employment, also boost the local economy, etc. So we move on to the prelims question. It was a PYQ asked in 2019, sorry. Which of the following is not an Harappan site? The sites are Chahundaro, Kodiji, Sogora, and Desalpur. So we have a map here which is marked. Chahundaro is a Harappan site, Kodiji is also an Harappan site, and Desalpur is also an Harappan site. Sogora, it's actually a place famous for the copper plate inscription belonging to the Mauryan period. So this is not related to the Harappan site. So the answer will be Sogora. So in prelims, you might be asked such questions. In mains, they might ask about the features of Indus Valley civilization. And that's it for this topic. We'll move on to the next topic. In this topic, we will be seeing about the International Criminal Court. So we'll see about it. It's a permanent international tribunal to prosecute individuals. This is important for serious international crimes. So it's established under the Rome Statute of 1998, and it came into force on July 1st of 2002. And its headquarters is in The Hague, Netherlands. So another important aspect is it's independent of the UN, but the UNSC can refer the cases to it. So we will see the types of jurisdiction it has. It has 4 core crimes under it. First one is genocide. Second one is crimes against humanity. Third one is war crimes, and fourth one is crime of aggression. These are the important points regarding it. These can be directly useful for questions when asked in prelims. So there are almost 124 state parties to it, but the which are not members include India, USA, China, Russia, and also Israel. Another important aspect, the difference between ICC and the International Court of Justice is, in ICC it tries individual based on Rome Statute, but whereas in the International Court of Justice it is a principal judicial organ and it settles the disputes between the states. So this is for individuals. ICC is for individuals, and ICJ is between the disputes between the states. This is an important distinction. So in prelims, we might get questions directly based on this important fact. Other than that, in mains, they can ask two aspects. First one is why India is not a party to this international criminal court. So you can mention there are issues such as sovereignty issues and definition or inclusion of terrorism, etc. Please check about it. Apart from that, another question can be asked in GS2, that is effectiveness of international criminal court. So you can talk both positives and negatives. First, you can show as negatives such as it is dependent upon the member states for national states for its enforcement. It cannot enforce on its own. For even this laws are not binding in nature. For example, the arrest warrant was issued against the Russian president, but still he has not been arrested. So positives you can talk like it shows a deterrence effect, and it is also symbolic in nature, etc. So we will see a practice question regarding to it. With reference to the International Criminal Court, consider the following. First statement, we have to find the incorrect statements. First statement is it was created by the Rome Statute of 1998. Yes, this is correct. It's an organ of the United Nations. No, this is incorrect. Third, India is a member of International Criminal Court. Again, this is incorrect. They have asked to find the incorrect statements. So the answer will be option B, 2 and 3 only. That's it for this topic. We will move on to the next topic. Now we will say about prelims focus. First one is AI system for auditing. The Comptroller and Auditor General, that is the CAG, has been developing the large language model. So its aim is to help auditors access decades of institutional knowledge, thereby improving efficiency and consistency in audit analysis using artificial intelligence powered system. So AI is a buzzword now, so it can be asked in both prelims as well as mains. We must be knowing the difference between AI, machine learning, and this large language model. The prelims in PYQ there was a question regarding Internet of Things. Like they described the scenario and they asked what is the example. So in that similar to that also you can get the questions in AI, or else they can give some examples of AI models like ChatGPT, etc., Perplexity, etc., and ask what are these examples of. So in these ways the questions can be asked. Now we move on to the next topic. Next topic is regarding the projects in Venezuela. India to start pilot projects in Venezuela. The priority areas are agriculture, pharmaceuticals, and digital public infrastructure. And the aim is to boost bilateral cooperation amidst the US Venezuela tensions. So the next is domestic institutional investors. So despite significant DII investments, the Indian stock market returns remain flat. So we'll see what are domestic institutional investors. They are local entities like Indian mutual funds, pension funds, and banks or insurance companies that have invested in their own country's stock market. This is an important keyword. And financial instruments. It is own country is a keyword. So they focus on domestic securities such as equities of Indian companies and contribute to the liquidity and stability of the market. And they prefer the long-term perspectives, typically adapt a long-term investment horizon which helps to balance the short-term fluctuations caused by foreign institutional investors. So another key thing to know is the difference between foreign direct investment and foreign portfolio investment. So move on to the next topic. So it's regarding the facial recognition in Anganwadis. So mandatory facial recognition software in Anganwadis for take-home rations. So it has a legal basis in the National Food Security Act and the Integrated Child Development Services regarding this take-home ration. So the aim is to prevent fake beneficiaries and food theft. So next one is regarding the Ray-Ban Display Smart Glasses. Is launched by the Meta in its annual developer conference in MetaConnect of 2025. It's equipped with an AI assistant with cloud connectivity, cameras, microphones, and speakers, right lens display for apps, messages, direction, and translations. So we need to know what to mean by cloud connectivity. That's important. Even that can be asked in prelims. Now we move on. Next is it uses electromyography to detect brain to hand signals for subtle hand gestures, allowing users to scroll apps or select items without touching a screen. So this is important, this word. We need to know what it is. So I think in the coming years, the difference between a smart glass and a normal glass will reduce significantly. Now we'll move on to the practice question. So this is a UPSC prelims question, previous year question asked in 2024. So the question is statement 1. Recently, Venezuela has achieved a rapid recovery from its economic crisis and succeeded in preventing its people from fleeing or emigrating to other countries. Statement 2 is Venezuela has world's largest oil reserves. So this is an example of this assertion reasoning type question as in UPSC prelims. So we have to find which of the following is correct in respect to the above statements. So there are 4 options. First one is both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct and statement 2 explains statement 1. Second option is both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct but statement 2 does not explain statement 1. Third option is statement 1 is correct but statement 2 is incorrect. Fourth is statement 1 is incorrect but statement 2 is correct. We will see the statements, the statement 1 is incorrect. The reason is Venezuela was having hyperinflation. And second statement, yes, this is correct. It has world's large oil reserves, even greater than what we oil reserves of Middle Eastern countries. So the correct answer will be option D. Statement 1 is incorrect but statement 2 is correct. So in these questions, one aspect is if you know that for sure statement 1 is incorrect, you can directly go to the right option, because in all 3 options above, it states that statement 1 is correct. So if you are lucky and if you know that statement 1 is definitely incorrect, without even worrying about statement 2, if you even have a doubt, you can straight away mark option D, that is this option. Statement 1 is incorrect and statement 2 is correct. So that's it for this topic. That's it for today. If you liked the video, give your valuable feedback and press the like button and do subscribe to our channel for regular updates. Thank you and have a great day.